Persona 5 Royal is easily my favourite game of all time. From the art style and the soundtrack to the gameplay and the characters, everything is just done to perfection. The story is beautifully written and just clicks together so well, and it's so satisfying when you have moments that left you feeling confused finally get explained, and it's just a truly phenomenal game that I just love everything about. It is probably a bit random that I am covering a game of this sort, considering the horror focused channel I have built since rebranding the channel. And yeah, I do have to agree, it definitely is very out there. And due to that fact, I really don't think this video is going to get many views, but I'm not really bothered about that fact, because this is a game I just need to make a video on, even just for myself, to be able to compile everything that I love so much about Persona 5 Royal into a video that I can be proud of. And at the end of the day, if I end up making something that someone else also enjoys, that's just an amazing bonus. This video is going to contain a lot of different segments, and is going to be made almost as a mega video on Persona 5 Royal, containing my thoughts on the gameplay as a whole, visual element, soundtrack, ranking characters, even what your Persona 5 waifu says about you section, because it'll piss off Luczan. I'm even going to be giving tips here and there, so if there's any specific part of the game you want to see me talk about, then I'll leave chapters in the description so you can skip straight to them. Also, all the gameplay in this video was taken from my New Game Plus playthrough, so you're going to be seeing a lot of this.
By the myriad truths!
Just before the video starts, I want to plug my Discord server, as that is now up and running, so if you're interested in joining that and being able to speak to me and other people in the server, just generally chill, then we got the link in the description. Go to that link and you'll be able to join the Discord, and also follow me on Twitter. I always forget to plug this, but I am on Twitter, or X now. If you want to go and follow me, link is in the description. Anyways, it's finally time that we get into Persona 5 Royal, and why it is my favourite game of all time. Persona 5 Royal is a JRPG game where your protagonist has been placed on probation after being sued for assault, forcing him to move away from home to Yoganjaya. Eventually, you discover that you are able to access the cognitive world, which is a place of one's dark desires, and awaken to your persona, which represents the inner rebellion within a person. You decide to use this ability to reform evil adults and make them have a change of heart, as the game brands it, so that they confess all their crimes. Your first target being the volleyball coach of Shujin Academy, Suguru Kamoshida. Persona 5 Royal is split into two main gameplay segments. The first segment is the life sim, where you play through your school life, strengthen bonds with characters, and increase your social stats of intelligence, guts, proficiency, kindness, and charm. But you need to manage your time wisely, as many activities take up a time slot, and there is only a maximum of 2 things you can do in a day. A lot of Persona 5 Royal is based around deadlines, and managing your time to the best of your ability to be ready for the strong bosses that you will have to face. The second section is the Dungeon Crawler, where you enter the metaverse and partake in turn-based battles against shadows that guard the formation of one's twisted cognition called palaces. In these palaces, your objective is to secure an infiltration route to the treasure. This treasure is the root of their twisted desires, and stealing it will make them have a change of heart and confess their crimes. Inside the cognitive world, your party members will have a HP and SP meter. SP is used when performing magic attacks with your persona, and HP can also be used for physical attack with personas, along with it generally obviously being your health bar. After every battle, these stats will carry over and not reset. Therefore, it is essential to try to conserve as much SP and HP as possible to attempt to get through these palaces in a single day, as this frees up more time to strengthen bonds and raise social stats in the life sim. You will gain comrades throughout your time playing the game, which will obtain a confidant rank with them, which will start at rank 1 but can be strengthened by spending time with them in the life sim segment all the way to rank 10. When ranking up their confidant level, you will obtain special perks that can help you in the metaverse, such as your teammates being able to perform a follow-up attack if you don't manage to knock an enemy down. Each confidant has an arcana type associated with them. For example, Aunt Takamaki is of the Lover's Arcana and Ryuji is of the Chariot Arcana. So to increase the chances of ranking up their confidant level when you interact with them, always carry a persona of the same arcana type on you. The confidant ranking is one of the best character progression systems I have ever seen in a game. It just gives you another level of connection with these characters and really gives them so much time to be fleshed out. All of these characters have their own struggles and flaws, but by the end of their confidant rank, they finally understand themselves more and are more ready than ever to steal the hearts of those who need to be reformed. The rewards from these confidants also make them entirely worthwhile to complete, as they can significantly improve your gameplay experience in the cognitive world and around your daily life. Well, some more than others. I'm looking at you, Oya. Another huge part of the gameplay for Persona 5 Royal is the Velvet Room, which is said to be the place between dream and reality, where you are trapped within as you are a prisoner of fate. Inside the Velvet Room is the master of the Velvet Room, Igor, and his twin wardens, Caroline and Justine. Here you can fuse and strengthen personas to either obtain new personas or increase the strength of current personas. Each persona has their own set of strengths and weaknesses against certain elemental attacks, so it's best to keep a good range of personas so you can guarantee that you can hit an enemy's weakness to knock them down and deal maximum damage. Just in case I'm not making enough sense, personas are like Pokemon. Just think of them as like Pokemon. I think that's probably the best way to see it. The cutscenes that play when you fuse or strengthen a persona is so brutal, yet so cool visually, and remind you that this is a pretty dark game that contains some heavy themes. I personally think it is a really nice touch, and it's also where I get to obtain funny Izanagi no Kill My Picaro Man, and use the funny Myriad Truths move. In all seriousness though, this guy is extremely broken, and comes as a free DLC persona in the Royal version, but I highly recommend to not use him, because it makes the game so easy it is unreal. Like, you will face no challenge at all throughout the whole game. I would recommend probably only use him in New Game Plus, when you already know what the story is about and want to just focus on maxing out confidant ranks like I did. Overall, the gameplay loop for Persona 5 Royal for me personally is absolutely perfect, always keeping me engaged and wanting to come back for more. I blame Pokemon for my love of strategy turn-based RPGs. I now want to move on to the visuals of Persona 5, because everything about them is just purely top tier stuff. This game is so stylish in absolutely everything that it does. Like, tell me this isn't one of the coolest pause screens you've ever seen in a game. There is so much detail and care put into so many small things that it makes it so visually appealing to look at. I mentioned the pause screen a second ago, but it's so cool how it'll move and adapt depending on what option you pick. It's just so cool and artistic. Along with this, the palaces you must traverse inside the cognitive world are so well designed to all be so drastically different from each other, but still obtaining such a high level of detail and polish, making them extremely appealing to your eyes. Speaking of the cognitive world, I also love how you have that paint-like effect splashing from beneath your feet when you run, and how your protagonist shouts,
I'll reveal your true form
whenever you ambush a shadow. It's just absolutely fantastic. There's not enough praise I can give for the visuals of this game, and the icing on the cake for me is the various classic Japanese anime cutscenes within the game. This whole kind of hand-drawn style is so amazing, and I've always loved how unique anime's visual style is, and it really flows well into Persona 5. My favourite one of these cutscenes has to be when you first awaken to your persona Arsene. It's just so cool looking, and wouldn't have hit same without the hand-drawn anime style being used. It's so clear that there was so much time and love put into the visuals of this game. Even the extremely small things that you might not immediately notice was taken into account by Atlus. It truly pleases my eyes to look at this game. Now, I'm going to be moving away from the safety of my written script to give you my rankings of all the characters in Persona 5 Royal live. Wish me luck. Now, onto the section that could make this video, add another 10-15 minutes, or make it an hour long. we're moving on to the tier list, as I mentioned before, away from the script, so wish me luck, goddamn. Just quickly, some of these characters are in strikes, they're not included, or they're dupes of the existing characters, or I'm just like, I actually don't know where the hell they're from. I don't know who this Donnie is. I don't know who this Donnie is. Okay, alright, let's just keep it short and sweet. Let's try and keep it short and sweet. Also, this is going to contain major spoilers, so if you just want to see what my placements of these characters would be without being spoiled, there'll be a timestamp on screen right now to skip to where it's literally just my placements, and you'll be completely spoiler-free. But I am going to be talking about some spoilers in this, so proceed at your own wish. Your wishes. Okay, let's start off. We have Aunt Takamaki to start off with, and I think as a character, you know, I think I'm going to put her an A. I think she overall is a pretty sick character, and she, even as a Phantom Thief, stayed in my team throughout my entire first playthrough. She was always in my team. There was never a time where she wasn't in my team. So, completely A tier. As a character, pretty solid as well. I like her confidant rank system and her everything like that. I think it's very cool. She's a very nice character. And it's just pretty stylish, I can't lie. You know, I enjoy her as a character. On goes in A. You see what I did there? Alright, okay. So now we move on to Caroline. I think, you know, I might do Caroline and Justine within like the same thing. But, you know, I think they can both go in a solid B tier. Like, I feel like I can't put one above the other. Caroline, obviously the like the bad cop, and Justine is like the good cop. You know, I think B tier is reasonable. I remember, I mean, the first time I played, I didn't get anywhere past, I think, their first confidant rank, because I couldn't be bothered to go out of my way to try and do the fusion things. It was only on my, was it second playthrough? I done all of their confidant ranks. It was literally after Shido's Palace. When I'd literally done everything, I went into the Velvet Room, and I just sat there and fused all, I got up a guide and everything, fused all the personas I needed. I got their confidant rank maxed out. But I think overall they are pretty solid, you know, they are, I think they're pretty, that's it, you know what I mean, they're solid. Like, I don't think they're amazing, they're pretty good. Like, I'm happy that they're included, and they are some pretty solid characters, and it is a bit interesting, you know, but they'll be like, wait, why the hell did we have this list in the first place and stuff like that. I think they're pretty cool characters, and they are very welcome residents of the Velvet Room. So moving on, we have Chihaya. Chihaya is an interesting one. I didn't even unlock her confidant rank the first time I played, I don't think, because I was too focused on getting social stats, and overall I was terrible at optimizing my time, if I'm going to be honest. So Chihaya wasn't much up there, and it was only recently, I think, once again, it was my second playthrough where I maxed out all the confidants, where I actually unlocked her confidant and ranked her through, and I think she is interesting. However, I do think that it is so long to actually get through, like, even just to unlock her confidant rank. You see her the first time, then you have to go and see her again, then you have to go and see her again, and then do a mementos request, and then you can finally unlock her confidant rank. But her confidant abilities are amazing, I do have to say. They are really, really good. And so, as a character, I think she's solid. But I think just from the confidant ranks things alone, you know, I'll slap her a name. I'll slap, actually, no, I'll put her in B. I think B is reasonable. I don't want to entirely base it off confidant rank levels. I want to be like more as them as a character. Okay, so now this, I'm pretty sure, is Yoshizawa's like gym trainer instructor. You don't really see anything about her, so she's just going to go in D. I mean, I don't know. She might as well just be not included, but I thought I might as well include it. Okay, moving on to Futaba. I think you know what? I think I'm just immediately going to put her in A. She is a very, very solid, very good character actually. I do think her as a character is very, very good, and her confidant rank and system, like, and when you go through with her childhood friends, like experiencing like abuse from her parents at home, forcing her into like certain stuff and everything like that. I think that is a really good confidant rank, and I do personally really enjoy that. And I think her as a character is just pretty sick. I remember doing her palace the first time, and then obviously there was the whole thing where what is it? Yeah, no, she enters her own palace and then awakens, and she was the support character of the Phantom Thieves, and yeah, no, I think she is very welcome to be in A tier and another fine inclusion to the Phantom Thieves. Moving on, we have Goro Akechi. The first time I played this game, and there was the whole revelation where he was the character behind the black mask, and he was the man causing the mental shutdowns and basically killing several people using the cognitive world. And he tries to kill us as well as the protagonist. I remember that exact moment, and I knew something was up. But it wasn't because of the funny pancakes that everyone talks about.
Oh, am I mistaken? I thought I heard something about delicious pancakes.
You know the wonderful moment. I didn't catch on to that because I'm a bit slow. What I did catch on to, though, there were other really small details which, I don't know, just me, I thought of like stuff and I was really confused. There's obviously, when you enter Okumura's palace, I'm pretty sure it's after you send the calling card, or I can't remember, but you can see Akechi behind the board as you enter. So when you finish Okumura's palace and you see him get killed at the end, the only other person within the vicinity at that time was Akechi. So I was thinking, that surely got to mean something. And along with that, when you first enter the metaverse with him inside his palace, he mentions that he wants his codename to be Crow, and Ryuji says something about like, well, shouldn't your costume be like black or something then? And he says it's to deceive the enemies. But I thought that's a very good point. Crow. It's almost like I was speaking to one of my good friends actually about this recently, and it's like almost as if he was like mocking like the Phantom Thieves, because he's like subtly giving away who he actually is right in front of their face, and they don't think anything of it. So, but there's everything with that. But along with that, like I'd never finished his confidant rank before. But when I finished it this time, when you first get the I actually hated him. I was like, oh my god, screw you, Akechi. But after finishing his confidant rank, I think he's an extremely interesting character. And I think that just that alone, the way that I think the twist is, I think personally, is really well done. I think there was a video on YouTube. I didn't watch it entirely, but there's a video on why the twist failed. But it was super effective for me, and for that alone, the character and the way it's built up and everything. Also, the voice actor. Oh my days, that man put his heart and soul into those deliveries. So I think Akechi has to go in S tier. I personally think he is such a good character, and I really do respect everything about him. Well, maybe not killing people, but alright. Moving on, we have Haru Okumura, and you know, Haru is pretty solid, but I feel like she was added way too late on in the game to be able to get some proper development. Obviously, with the third semester and everything like that, she did definitely get developed more, and it's a lot better in the royal version of the game. But I still think that Haru's like missing something. Like, her confidant rank is really cool. I personally think I enjoy her confidant rank, and I think it's good for like the whole company, and she's like, you know, obviously wary of the people around her who may seem to only use her for her money and stuff to try and get control of the business or whatever. And I think as a character, she's pretty calm. I also wasn't expecting her voice to be that high pitched. I don't know what I was expecting, but when I heard her voice, like the voice actor, I was like, oh my god, I was not expecting it. But Haru is a very cool character, very large surface area, right up here. But she's very cool. Low-key kind of sadistic and crazy. Like, she is psychotic. Some of the stuff she says, but yeah, I think with that, I gotta put Haru, I think in B tier. She's solid, you know, nothing bad to say about her, but nothing absolutely amazing. B tier, I think, is solid for Haru. I rate her. Moving on, we have Best Girl Hifumi. If you disagree with me, sorry to tell you, mate, but don't worry. One day you'll understand. One day you'll mature and you'll fully understand. Okay, all right. Okay, but in all seriousness, though, yes, Hifumi, I think, is a really well. She is probably one of my favorite characters in the game. Obviously the whole shogi thing, and I remember, I'm pretty sure I maxed out her confidant in like a week in game. No, that doesn't make any sense. That's not even possible. But I done it as soon as it was available. When you get the message from Yusuke to go and visit her, I finished it like so quickly. And yeah, she was the first character that I ever got. Well, first female character that I maxed out in the game. Actually, other than Takemi. Takemi was first. I'll never forget that. Big up Takemi. But yeah, no, Hifumi is S tier. Such a just a chill character, you know what I mean? Like just a vibe. And you know what? S tier for me personally. Best girl, of course, easy. All right, okay. Now we have going to the complete opposite end of the spectrum. We have Ouya. Now, let's listen here, right? Okay. Ouya as a character is underrated. As a character, okay, underrated. But I do not understand some people how can have her as their romance option. Like, I don't get it. Like, really, you have okay, but yeah, no, as a character, solid character, pretty good confidant. Well, I mean, actually, the confidant rank rewards are garbage. They are garbage. You know what? It's gonna pain me to do this because I genuinely don't know if she actually deserves this, but I don't think I can put her in the same tier as Chihaya or Haru. Yeah, I'm just gonna go in C tier. As a character, backstory, solid. Confidant ranks, shocking, absolutely shocking. They're completely useless unless you're actually garbage at the game. Like, you have to suck so badly to not to have to actually utilize her skills to its true potential. Like, you actually have to suck at the game. So yeah, Ouya, you go and see. Sorry, I guess. Now we have Madarame. Now Madarame was an interesting villain. Obviously, you know, with the whole Yusuke and Madarame arc, that's where he gets added to a team and everything like that. But as a villain, he was interesting. His boss fight, well, the first time I'd done it, I was terrified because I remember after the Kamoshida fight, I had no idea what to expect, and I was terrified. I can't lie, I was terrified. I was so scared for this fight, and then I just ended up blitzing this poor old man, and I was like, well, that was easy. So, I think as a villain, I don't know, you know what? As a villain, I think he's probably below par compared to everyone else. Like, if we're looking at everyone else, he's not anywhere near as good. I mean, yeah, I think he just falls under, so I think I'm going to put Madarame in C as well. Boss fight, for me personally, was super easy, and just everything like that, so I think for me personally, Madarame goes in C. Now, moving on, Igor, the big-nosed man of the Velvet Room. I mean, this guy is a beast, let's not lie. I think there's no other better spot to put this man than S. As a good friend of mine quoted once, this man just looks devious, and it's true. Look at the look on this man's face. Bro is absolutely devious, and I rate it. Igor is just amazing. You know, I think that's enough said. S tier, Igor. Now we have Josei here. Josei's interesting, a royal added character, and he adds the whole star system to Mementos. No, stamp system, sorry. The stamp system to Mementos, which I did play the original Persona, but only up to the Kamoshida fight, and I must have been terrible at the game, because I couldn't get past that fight, and I stopped after dying in that fight twice. But I'm for sure that this stamp system has improved Mementos significantly, because I can't imagine a Mementos where that isn't the case. So, just for that, I think that Josei's gonna go in A. I think that but then I don't want to entirely. I've said before, I don't want to entirely base it off of. Actually, it's not a confidant. Actually, it's a bit different. But I don't. You know, no. We'll stick with A. Josei is a cool character. He's like this weird, alien thing, and he wants to learn more about the human heart and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure. I might be getting confused with I've forgotten her name now. I'm shocking. I'm having a moment here, but I can't remember her name. But I think it's like a similar sort of thing. And Sophia, that's what it is. So I think it's like similar to Sophia in a way if you've played Persona 5 Strikers. But overall, Josei's pretty solid character and adds some amazing things to Mementos. So I think for that, I'm gonna put him in A. Now, Madarame. Okay, Madarame's Palace was the first one that I completed, that I'd done a single day infiltration on, because I didn't even think it was possible otherwise. I didn't even think about it. Like, Madarame Kamoshida, I'd always leave every so often whenever my SP got low. I did not know until I watched the video and it was like single day infiltration. So I was like, wait, that's even possible? So Madarame was the first person, first palace that I actually infiltrated in a single day. And I think as a villain, I think that Kaneshiro is actually, you know, I like him as a villain. I do like him as a villain. I mean, you really do hate this guy. I mean, you really do dislike him. I mean, he's like some mafia boss who's like, utilizing younger people to like sell like drugs and stuff for him and like threaten them past that point if they tell anyone. So with that, but his palace as a whole, it feels really long. I can't lie. I remember the first time. I swear that it took a good few hours to get through it, and I remember like it feels really long, and there's like no save points. Like I think Madarame has the least amount of save points in the like save rooms in the entirety of the game. I'm pretty sure. So I've had that with Futaba's palace. I can't remember, but Kaneshiro, you know what? I think as a villain, I think no, but there are better villains. You know what? No, B. He goes in B. He's better than Madarame, but he's not as good as some of the other villains to come. But yeah, his boss fight was also super annoying. The Piggytron thing was calm, but like as soon as like there's the other guy, like the other guys come in, and they like block attacks and stuff, like it's really annoying. I get you obviously like put them to sleep or like inflict them with some kind of like status ailment and stuff like that, but like it's just really annoying. I can't lie, it's really annoying, and I'd rather not. So just from that, yeah, I think he goes in B tier. Now, Kamoshida is the first villain that you encounter in the game. And, you know, I think he's going to have to go in A. I feel like he is probably the second most hated like character that you get, like, you actually hate in the game. Because Kamoshida is just like, I don't know what, he's such an arrogant knob. Let's just put it how it is. He is. And everything like that. And what he does, especially with, there's the whole thing that happens with Shihei. Shihei? That's not right. I'm having a moment again. I can't remember. Suzuki. I can't remember Suzui. I'm having a moment. I can't remember their name exactly. But yeah, the whole thing that happens with them. I feel like you actually despise this guy. Like you proper hate this man, and you want to do something about it. His palace isn't very hard, but it's obviously meant to be like that. I mean, it's literally the tutorial one. And I think it does a great job at that. And I think that Kamoshida is a great villain because you truly hate this guy. Okay, moving on, we have Yoshizawa. Now, I think you know what? No, we're gonna put it in A. You know what? She is actually a really cool character. I do really like her. She's sick, and I think her whole outfit with the Phantom Thieves and everything like that, it's so cool. Also, her all-out attack, like thingy at the end, like when it's like drawn and like art style and everything like that. That has to be my favorite one. It looks so cool, and I love the way that, you know, she's like the athlete of the group. Well, I mean, Ryuji ex-athlete, but you know what I mean? She does like the gymnastic stuff, and how the ribbon gets incorporated into her all-out attack. That is so cool. And you know what, actually, I'm going to bump her up to S. I am actually going to put her in S, yeah. Such a cool character, with the third semester and everything like that. So cool. I really do rate her character arc, and everything like that, and the way that she's introduced, because there's obviously the whole twist, because it's very strange at the start. I remember even I was confused when you first get her confidant ranked, and it only goes up to rank 5. I was really confused at that point. I was like, okay, well, this is strange. Why is it only up to 5? And then you have to unlock the third semester, go through that, and then you unlock the next 5 levels of her rank, which is the Faith Arcana. So, for that, S tier, really cool. Just really cool. I really like her as a character. Great Phantom Thief attire. Probably one of my favorite outfits in the game. Out of the Phantom Thief outfits, actually, she's got to be up there as one of my favorites. So yeah, we're gonna put her in S. We got Principal Kobayakawa. This man just doesn't get fleshed out enough. I feel like you know that he's involved with something dodgy going on, but I feel like he doesn't really get much of a chance before he gets killed off, which doesn't make all too much sense because I swear you have to get to like the past the fourth palace, is it? Third palace, past the third palace, and then it's when they're on go to Hawaii where he gets killed from the mental shutdown. But I don't know. I don't think there's enough really to say about him. We're gonna put him in. No, you know what? No, I'm gonna put him in D because at least these characters get more time to get fleshed out. I mean, I feel like he's solid. You know, he has a wonderful shaped head. But yeah, I think we're just gonna put him in D because we need to. You know, I think we're gonna try to start to utilize these two more tiers more. Okay, now we have Okumura, and sorry mate, just for your boss fight. Sorry. Oh, no, not strikers. We're putting him in D. I hate the boss fight for this man. I remember the first time that I got into the boss fight and I saw the timer and I was like, okay, you know, that timer isn't ideal, but half an hour, I can get through this. Surely, I'll be alright. And then there was the whole thing of, you know, there's the weaknesses of the robots that come in. First few waves, fine. Yeah, no problem. Cool. Utilize the weakness. I'm no problem. Looking good. And then it comes when he starts using the sacrifice order and boosting their defense. And I went through so many times and it felt like I just couldn't do it. Because if you didn't kill them all before he blew himself up, they would just all run away and come back again. And with the timer still ticking down, it was just the most annoying boss fight ever. I had to, you know, it's fundamentally broken when the easiest and greatest methods to beating this fight is going to the hardest difficulty in the game. How the hell do you make a boss fight where the hardest difficulty makes the boss fight the easiest? I have no idea. But yeah, for that boss fight, D. His palace, yeah. It was okay. You know what? I will say the track in his palace. I remember the first time I heard it, I was bopping to that. That is a bop. I can't lie. I was happy with the music, but just the whole palace as a whole, it feels a bit long. Some people really don't like the maze puzzle at the end, like the space puzzle through like the vent, like airlock stuff. I've never had a problem with it. The first time I actually ever like done his palace, I had no issues at all with it. So I don't know why it's hated so much. But yeah, no, I think he you know, deserves to be in D. Just for the boss fight, for the palace, him as a character. I don't know. Once again, I feel like he's not really fleshed out enough as a villain. Like, you don't really despise this guy. Like, obviously, you know, he's selling Haru off to some random Donnie, right? Which she doesn't want to be with, and he's a bit of a knob. But you don't really, like... You don't feel the same way about Okumura as you do as Kamoshida. But, yeah, okay. So, D. Moving on, Lavenza. You know what? I think Lavenza's going to go in A. I feel like the whole fusion like between Caroline and Justine and then creates Lavenza. Lavenza's just pretty calm. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to explain it. She just seems very, very calm. Very nice, actually. Very, very cool. I think she's a very nice addition to the Velvet Room. And obviously when Lavenza is reborn or created or I don't know. You know, there's the whole revelation with Igor where it's not really Igor. And then, yeah, whatever. But I feel like I prefer Lavenza. I prefer Lavenza to Caroline and Justine. I think, although her boss fight is something I'm still yet to do, I still need to fight her and beat her. Because the first time I thought I could just spam Myriad Truths and I was greatly mistaken. So, yeah, I'll have to do that at some point. But I feel like she just goes above Caroline and Justine for me. And the thing is, I can't really think of many reasons as to why. I just think she's chill. Alright. Now we have Makoto, what many people would brand as best girl and the canon romance. But, sorry mate, it's not happening. You're just wrong. But, as a character, other than the fact that some people say she's like an AI, she's like a robot, I actually do really rate Makoto. Especially, no, she was always in my team as well. Once she awakens to Johanna, she was always in my team. She is so good. Like, She just replaced Morgana for me. Morgana got outdone in the team as soon as she was there. And she has my favourite outfit in the game out of Phantom Thief attire. Her Phantom Thief stuff, it looks so cool with the shoulder pads. Her all-out attack finish as well is just cool. Like, just generally, like, I really do rate her as a character. And, you know, looking at this, no, I think... But then again, I feel like ST is getting too crowded at that point. I'm trying to think of the characters that are to come. Yeah, you know what? No. We'll stick her in A because I don't want to crowd S too much because then it just doesn't look anywhere near as important. You know what I mean? But Makoto definitely in A tier. Deserved. I guess I have seen that some people think that her Confidant rank should have been more about her and not solving stuff that was going on with oh blimey, I can't remember the name of the character now. But there's the other character who's like being used by some Donnie. No, and I can agree with that. But you know, she's pretty cool, and we'll never forget the moment that she slapped that person and the wonderful dialogue option that comes with that. Oh, that was great. That was great. Okay, yeah, A tier, Makoto sits. Now we have Dr. Maruki. Dr. Maruki is an addition with the raw version of the game, and you have to max out his Confidant before, like, what is it? Is it like December, November? To unlock the third semester. Now, this is obviously, you know, including the third semester. Oh, I didn't mean to drop in C, doesn't deserve to be there at all. I think Dr. Maruki is probably the most interesting villain in the game, because he isn't necessarily doing anything wrong. Like, he is only doing good in the sense that obviously he is like trying to remove suffering from everyone's lives by just giving them what they wanted. He was the school therapist and stuff like that, so he was able to hear what people wanted the most and then change the cognition so that they genuinely like do actually obtain the things that they deeply desire. So Maruki is doing nothing wrong. But in that sense, like, removing their free will and being able to, like, achieve things for themselves is what leads to his downfall and stuff like that, which is why we obviously oppose him in the first place. But him, like, his ideals isn't necessarily something that is wrong. You know what I mean? So I think he's a very, very interesting villain. Actually, for that sense, no. I think I'm going to put him in S tier. For that, his Confidant rank abilities are amazing, like a must do, and the third semester is great. His palace is, I think it's solid. It's solid. His palace is solid. The puzzle at the end, like right before you actually get to the final safe room and like where the treasure would be, I find that puzzle a little bit annoying. I can't lie, but him as a character and his ideals and how interesting it was that he was the villain is it very, very good, and I think for that he warrants an S tier. Now moving on, Shido. I say that Kamoshida is probably the second most hated. I think Shido has to be the most hated villain that you have in this game, because like he is like obviously the one behind everything. Like he is the one who was like using Akechi to cause the mental shutdowns. And he was the one that obviously caused our protagonist to become, you know, become under probation for, like, suing him and stuff like that. Shido, he just has that look about him. And his boss fight, his palace was pretty solid. But that boss fight is so intense. I remember being like, it felt like it was the final thing. And it's the first time that you hear Rivers in the Desert, my favourite song from the game. It really gives it that final boss feel. And I was so like, it was tense. I was like, I can't make a wrong move here. Like, I felt like my life was at stake during that fight. Like, it was so good. And then that moment where everyone else gets, like, removed from the fight and it's just a 1v1 until the end. That was amazing. With Rivers in the Desert in the background, amazing. Probably the most hated boss in the game, and he does a great job at doing that. Proving to have probably the most intense fight for me, at least personally. So I think for that, he is probably my, I'd say second favourite villain. For the sense that Maruki's the most interesting, but in terms of like straight up evil, this man's A. It is definitely top of that list. Alright, moving on. This person's a part of Arn's, like, thing. You don't really, you know, I just put her in D. Okay, this is literally, I'm just here slapping dupes. Morgana is interesting, because he's so annoying. I can't lie, right? Okay, Morgana is so annoying. Every single time he would simp for Arn, and everything like that, and wouldn't let me go outside because he forced me to go to sleep. This guy was so annoying, right? But I don't know if he was so annoying that he warrants a C tier, because overall he is pretty solid. Like, but he's just extremely annoying. You know what? Can I see the rest? Actually, yeah. You know what? No, yeah, we'll put him in B. He midway. He is super annoying, but he is pretty okay. You know what I mean? Like, it's like that. It's like that one friend. You know what I mean? That they're really annoying, but you could still chill with. You know what I mean? I don't know. I think the whole character arc, and you know, obviously where it comes out that he was actually created in the Velvet Room from human desires, if I'm correct. That whole thing was cool. I mean, it's definitely unexpected. But like I said, it's so annoying when he constantly sent for Arn, and he's like constantly. There's the whole thing about him. It's like, I'm not a cat. And then there's the whole, oh my days, there's his whole arc where he runs away because him and Ryuji have a slight disagreement. Like, that was genuinely frustrating. I think that was the only part of the story that I genuinely became annoyed with. Like, I was like, this is so pointless. So pointless. There is no need for this to happen. And it doesn't really lead anywhere. I mean, it leads to just everything is fine, like, not long after. It's just annoying. It's really annoying. But for all that, I reckon Morgana can go in. But actually, no, I think I've changed my mind. I think I have changed my mind. I'm sorry, Morgana. I think you're going to have to go and see. I think you are going to have to go and see. He's cool in some aspects, but I feel like he's just how annoying it is. Yeah, I think he's going to have to go and see tier. Now, I think these are just a load of the teachers, so I don't even know why I included them in the first place, to be honest. So they're just going to go into D. Okay. Now we have, you know, actually, we're just going to rinse out all the useless characters. That one. Okay, alright, yeah, I'm sorry to put you here, mate. You seem like a swell guy, but, you know, we don't really know anything about you. Okay, this guy has to be, like, one of the, like, the most missed potential in a character in the whole game. This guy is, like, so mysterious, and you know that there's something up with him. Like, you see all the phone calls, like, this guy's devious, right, okay? But then before he can actually do anything, and you even know anything about, do you even know his name? Do they even say his name? I can't even remember. He just gets killed off. Like, he doesn't even get a chance to do anything evil. But, like, I don't know. He can go in D. Sorry. This guy, isn't he for, like, there's, like, a online shopping thing, like, if you repair a computer? I never used it. I think I only knew that it was a thing, like, on my third playthrough when I actually repaired. No, I'm on my third playthrough now. It's on my second one. My second playthrough where I actually bothered to repair the PC. And I got this online thing, and I was like, oh, that's pointless. I already have everything I need. This guy is pretty pointless, other than one boss fight in Akuma's Palace, and obviously him being a part of the reason as why you need to, you know, change Akuma's heart. Wakaba is just, she doesn't show up other than Futaba's Palace. That D. Other than that, that's actually Shiho. Shiho, that's the name. I couldn't remember. Shiho. You don't know, she can go and see, because she's fleshed out a bit more, but she's hardly in the game. And she's a part of Arn's confidant ranked. And you know what? Yeah, no, she can go and see. Because she's above these guys, definitely. But yeah, she can sit and see. Now, we are just on to the actual, like, useful characters now. We have EY. Now, EY, I think I got his confidant ranked to, like, was it like 4 or something the first time I played? But the second time playing around, I think his confidant is, it might be one of my favorites in the game, actually. His confidant rank is the only one in the game where your character outwardly actually, like, risks his own life because of the whole thing going on with the Yakuza and everything like that. And I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but this is, like, the only confidant rank when you actually go out of your like way to like risk your safety to you know do stuff to help EY. And the whole thing with his son and everything like that, he seems like a swell guy. He's a pretty solid guy, and I rate that. So EY can go and be the protagonist. Now, obviously, some people just immediately put an S, but let's think about this logically, right? Okay. Our protagonist, we'll just call him Joker, because that is his code name in the metaverse. Joker is, well, I mean, he's a silent protagonist, unless, like, in certain cutscenes he speaks, and I feel like it's more impactful when he actually does speak in that sense, because he's obviously silent the rest of the time. Depending on how you play, this guy could be an absolute player, or could just be a pretty regular Don. He could be massively buff with all maxed out 99 stats, or, you know, maybe not. But as the protagonist goes, I mean, he's the silent protagonist, so you know what? No, I'm gonna give in. I'm gonna give in. Yeah, we'll just put him an S. Now we have Ryuji. Now, this guy is like he is like the best friend of the character, and he is. You know what? I think I'm just gonna immediately put him in A. I really do like Ryuji. Ryuji is a good character, and it's the whole thing how he got his leg broke and he wasn't able to run for the track team, and then his confidant rank is obviously, you know, about like how the team gets back together, but then it turns out that the guy who's setting it back up is just a knob and stuff like that. And Ryuji sits in A. Ryuji belongs in A. Good character. I can't lie. He wasn't in my team all that much in my first playthrough, but the second time around, I realised the actual worth that he brought to the team, and yeah, definitely added him. I mean, he was your first ever actual teammate other than Morgana. The second ever awakening in the game. Gotta be great. He is great. A tier. A tier deserved. Speaking of awakenings, I forgot to mention, Joke has the best awakening in the game. Find me. Kawakami. Now, I found out that Kawakami actually has quite the big fan base, so they might get on me. So I need to be careful where I rank this character, because there are some people out there who are just into that kind of thing, I guess. I'm not going to judge. That's for later on in the video, my next segment. Okay, Kawakami. Probably the best confidant in the game, excluding Maruki due to the time potential that he includes. She brings so much more free time from the confidant ranks. Although, I think it is, you know, the whole maid thing, you know, not for me. Not for me personally, you know. I think it's a bit strange. But I get the point behind it. Like, why? And the whole thing of, like, she's having to pay back, the students, like the student's parents, because he got hit by like a car and like passed. But I feel like I'm crowding out A too much. I do genuinely enjoy so many of the characters in this game. I mean, even the characters that I have put in C, like, well, I mean, to be fair, all the characters I put in D, pretty much they've hardly been fleshed out, and there's not really much to talk about. But even the characters that I have put in D, like, well, I mean, this, I don't hate them. I think it's just compared to everyone else, you know what I mean? I feel like, but I do generally really like pretty much all the characters. It's just, you know, ranking them is, you know, I have to think critically. I can't put them all in S tier. But I think Kawakami sits in A. She's a good character. And obviously, you know, very reliable as the player, you know. Great, the amount of times that I've, you know, you called her up and it's just like, yeah, can you make some coffee for me? Cheers. That's great. And, no, I do rate that. A tier she sits. Now, Sai. Sai Nijima. Now, at the beginning of the game, you, might dislike her, or, oh, there's a helicopter flying over. Interesting. I don't know if I might pick that up, probably not, but... Now, Sai. Very interesting character. From the start of the game, you don't like her very much, right? But right near the end, after her palace, and when everything loops back around, she actually becomes a vital asset to the Phantom Thieves, and is a part, like, a big reason of the part that you are able to set free out of jail after, you know, the whole thing goes down, if you do the first semester and everything like that. So, Sai is a great character. But do I think that Sai is as good as the rest of these characters? You know what? I'm gonna put Sai in B. Like I said before, nothing personal. I need to fill out these spaces more because I feel like A is becoming a little bit too heavy. You know what I mean? But she is a great character, and I think that she fits along these characters pretty well, and I do rate her very much. And her inclusion in Strikers made me smile. I remember that when you see it from her perspective. She walks in, and Zenkichi, and that's the whole thing with that. That was great. That was absolutely wonderful. So that made me happy. But yeah, she's a great character. Now we have Shinya Oda. I'm pretty sure. Oda. Yeah. You know what? No, I'm gonna put him in C. I'm gonna put him in C. He's okay. He's okay. I never even unlocked his confidant rank the first time I played the game. I never even unlocked it. I don't know. I don't know. But playing through it on my second playthrough, it was okay. You know what I mean? Like, nothing exactly like mind-blowing. His unlocks are okay. You know, nothing special. Nothing I exactly utilize all the time, other than trying to unlock Beep's Den awards. But he's okay. You know, he's okay as a character. I feel like C is fine. He can sit C. Now we have who boy? We have big boy Sojiro Sakura. How did I even forget that? Sojiro. Okay. No, S tier. Sojiro sits in S tier, right? This man is a legend. The beginning of the game, he's extremely harsh on you as the character, and you might even dislike him at first because he is a bit, you know, he's not exactly the nicest. But as the game progresses and you go through his confidant ranks, he is actually a proper swell guy. He is a swell don. And you actually become to quite like him quite a lot. I became quite the fan of Sojiro at the end of the game. And he's a great guy. Has some amazing confidant rank rewards as well. The whole coffee and curry like making, and the master versions of that, absolutely wonderful. And he has some amazing voice lines, like the iconic "Oh, so you're back." That was terribly voice acted by me. Hey, Atlus, hit me up for Persona 6. I'm happy to do some voice acting if you want me. I'm here. I said it. You need some voice acting. I'll do it for free, actually. I'll do it for free. I'll just hit me up. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. But yeah, Sojiro's great. Sojiro is great. He's like he becomes almost like I mean, he even says at the end, like, you're a part of the family now, and Sojiro, you're the protagonist, and Futaba even go to see like Wakaba's grave and stuff like that. And you know what? That is you know, that's some good bonding right there. So Sojiro in S tier, as he belongs with the double S. Now, I mean, this is pretty much a duplicate, but if obviously Sumire is Yoshizawa, but there's a good question actually. Which hairstyle do you prefer? I'm torn. I remember the first time I saw it with the hair down. I wasn't sure. I preferred it with like the tied up. But I actually don't know. I actually quite like it with it down actually. I can't lie. But yeah, that's a random question. Okay, we'll just stick it, dude. Okay, Tai Takemi, the first ever confidant that I maxed out. Takemi is good. Takemi is, you know, no, I think it's another A tier. Takemi is good and pretty much an essential confidant to rank like to max out to get obviously the best medicine and healing items in the game. Other than like, you know, you can't. There are like somas and stuff that you can. Yeah, but she's great. She is great, and I remember when I got her to rank 9, I genuinely considered whether I should go down like a romance path, but I chose not to. I waited out. But Takemi is class. You were obviously like you pretty much actually, yeah, I've just realised you put your life on the line for EY. You pretty much do have Takemi as well with the medical trials and everything like that. But she is a great character. I like the way the whole thing comes out where there was like a medical error and she was given the blame for it, but it turns out that it wasn't actually her fault. and the guy that had taken over past that point was to blame for that, but he just blamed Kemi and got her like blacklisted from like all like professional medical places, and she had to set up the one that is in Yogan Giant. But yeah, she is a great character, great confidant, and also just a great character. Yeah, I rate that Kemi in A. Now we're very near the end now. Now here, Yoshida, right? Yeah, no, yeah. I think I'm gonna put Yoshida in C. Some of his confidant ranks are like rewards are good, like definitely like the negotiation ones, being able to like ask for even more money. Sometimes not even having to negotiate with a shadow to obtain them as a persona. But I think his whole thing, like the story that, Jesus, I've been yawning. With the whole story and everything like that, when he's like running no goods Yoshida and stuff like that. It's not. I don't find it as interesting as some of the other characters. So I think for that he's gonna go and see. Now we have Yowdabout. I lost my mind when you fight the Holy Grail at the end, and because I was super confused, because I was like, hold up, this Holy Grail isn't exactly difficult. Like, why is it taking so much damage? Like, and I killed it proper quick, but I knew something was up, because I'm pretty sure you don't get any XP or money for that fight, and that's when you know it's not over and there's something more coming, because obviously, you know, if the fight was over, they'd give you XP and everything. But Yowdabout, when he starts to appear from the Holy Grail, I was like, oh my god. And for the first time in the game, I was like, how are we even going to beat this thing? Like, it's a literal god, the god of control. Yeah, this fight was quite something. And I only died once in this fight, and it was due to my own stupidity. I don't know who it was, but I had a character with Heat Wave, and I used Heat Wave, forgetting that one of the arms reflects physical damage, so I just killed myself, basically. But as a boss, and as a character, the way that it's revealed that he is quite literally a god behind all of this, I'm going to have to put him in A. I think him as the final fight, well, excluding the third semester, is amazing, and there's nothing to really top it. I mean, you've literally beat a literal god. There is nothing that can top it past that point. So he goes an 8 for that. Now we have Mishima, of course. It's Mishima. You know, okay, now I'm gonna put him in B. He's solid character. He is a bit annoying. Actually, I've changed my mind. I'm going to put him in C. He is a bit annoying. But his confidant rank rewards make up for it entirely. That rank 10, that all party members earn the same amount of XP, no matter if they're in the party or not. Amazing. That is absolutely amazing. So yeah, get Mishima to rank 10 if you haven't already. Yeah. Big up, I guess. And onto the final character, we have Yusuke. Now, Yusuke's never been a part of my team. I just want to say that immediately. After the first Awakening fight, he never joined my team ever again. Yeah, I just had so many other characters that were better than him. But I think as a character, that Phantom Thief outfit has a cool aesthetic. I like it. His all-out attack finisher thing, cool. I like the aesthetic, right? And I like the whole story with his confidant ranks, where he's obviously, you know, the struggling artist going through that mental block where he's unable to, like, he's trying to find passion again and everything like that, and like find everything. That is really cool. I can't lie. I do really enjoy it, and I find that really interesting. So from that alone, I think that he does deserve to go in A tier. And with that, we have finally finished the Persona 5 character ranking tier list. Let me know what you think about these rankings. If you think I've absolutely got it spot on, or if you think I'm off my rocker, let me know in the comments. Where would you place, if you disagree with some of the characters and where I placed them, let me know where you think they should have been and why. And remember that Hifumi is best girl easily, and time to hand it back over to my scripted self. Now, onto the segment that I am doing purely just to spite my good friend Luczan. Go and check out his channel, as his least favourite YouTube channel is probably Waifu Hunter Chris Gamefield. In fact, let's test out my theory now actually, with just a simple question. Yo, I have a very important question for you.
What is it?
Who's your favourite Persona 5 waifu? Yeah, no, that's pretty much what I was expecting. Anyways, we are now going to be doing a What Your Persona 5 Royal Waifu Says About You. So, here we go. You are probably the guy that follows countless models on social media, but have no real life of your own, and you're desperate enough to go for the first girl you see. You'll find the right person one day, man. It'll be okay. You probably fight people on Reddit all day about how she's the canon romance, and yet you're just so wrong. You definitely take her codename of Queen to another level and worship her like one, with your room plastered in Makoto merchandise. Oh, and you probably want her to slap you. You're probably a bit of a nerd, and you also want someone else who is a nerd. And yeah, you want to date someone who's just like you, in the sense that you also want a gamer to play games with all day. And you know what? I rate that actually. You get nothing but respect from me. You either like the fact that she's a cinnamon roll and has big ambitions of running her own big cafe, or the fact she can straight up be psychotic and terrifying. If Haru is your waifu, then you're probably on some FBI watch list for potential murder. You like goth girls, and definitely like a certain something else about her too. There's nothing you love more than her calling you her little guinea pig, and you loved the fact that you put your life on the line for her every single time you went and done one of those medical exams. You definitely had big crushes on your teachers in the past, and even though there was literally never any chance of anything ever happening, you'd still hold on to hope that you'd get with them. Let it go, man. It's never happening. Hello? Yep, can you get me on the line with the police, please? There's a wrong and I need to report. You are an extremely cultured individual, and there is absolutely nothing bad I can say about you. In fact, you're my favourite kind of person. Well done for making good life choices. You want a partner who is just chill, and you don't need all that much to be fulfilled. You wish that Chihaya could bring you good fortune in real life to be able to meet some real women in the actual real world. But thankfully, I'm here to be a fortune teller for your future. You're gonna be lonely forever. You cry online constantly that she isn't romanceable in the game, and will never let go of this, even when Persona 6 ends up releasing. You most definitely want her to step on you, and probably get a little too happy when she shouts at you during the interrogations. Seriously, you had so many options and you go with Oya? Really? Is everything okay? Sure, she's an underrated character, but your waifu? Oh, okay, man. To be honest, if Kasumi is your waifu, you are actually a pretty chill, nice guy, and I'm sure that I could have a nice conversation with you about life. Although, you probably want to be praised by your partner constantly, as she non-stop calls you senpai. You also just finished your 470-second argument on Reddit over which hairstyle is better. Sorry Heavenly M, that one was too good not to use. So, that concludes that segment. Be sure to let me know who your waifu is in the comments. Hell, let's start an argument in the comments. Why not? Everyone argue in the comments. I don't care. Just start an argument. Say everyone else is dumb in the comments. Do it. Go ahead and do it. I might even join in. I might join in for a bit of fun. Let's all just bully each other in the comments over this stuff. Now, we move on to the soundtrack of Persona 5. And oh my god, this is genuinely the best game soundtrack I have ever heard. It is genuinely perfection. All the soundtracks just fit the vibe and feel they're supposed to give off, and they all flow and fit together so well. I have actually listened to tracks from this game whilst out about doing stuff in my daily life, and I have never done that with any other game before. Whoever produced this soundtrack deserves to win some kind of trophy. I personally anoint them as a friend of the Donnie Productions YouTube channel. Now, as a final thing to add before I give the outro, I want to give some small tips here and there for the game. I am no expert by any means, but close to finishing up my third playthrough of the game during the creation of this video, I should hope I can at least give some small helpful tips. Whenever it rains, be sure to go to the sports shop in the underground mall in Shibuya, as you'll be able to buy moist protein, which is better than the standard protein. Staying in Shibuya, on Sundays, always make sure to head to the drink stand in the underground walkway, as you'll be able to buy a special drink that will give you points towards a random social stat without passing any time. This one might seem obvious, but be sure to max out Ryuji's Confidant, as you get him very early on and he takes no social stats to rank up. Along with that, his insta-kill perk at rank 7 makes grinding in mementos so much easier, and I wish I knew about this perk before the third semester in my first playthrough. In LeBlanc, there sometimes will be a crossword puzzle on the table. Make sure to always do this, as you're able to get intelligence points without using up any time. Whenever you get asked a question in class, just look up the answer online. There's zero reason not to do this, as you will only be missing out on completely free intelligence points. It's not shameful to do it, just do it. I've mentioned these next two near the start of the video, but they are crucial, so I'll repeat them here. If you are looking to spend time ranking up someone's Confidant, be sure to have the persona of the same Arcana on you. If you don't, then just visit the Velvet Room before meeting them and summon the cheapest persona of that Arcana. This will give you an extra note towards ranking up your Confidant ranks. For example, if you give a response that you were supposed to get 1 note for, you'll get 2, and if you were supposed to get 2 notes for the response, you'll get 3 instead. This makes a huge difference, so be sure to always do it, as I had no idea about this until about halfway through my first playthrough. Yeah, that is extremely embarrassing, I can't lie. Always try to conserve SP so you can complete a full infiltration of a palace in a single day. You can get SP restoring items in LeBlanc from brewing coffee or cooking curry. You can even get Kawakami to do it for you to free up some more time to do something else if you have a Confidant rank high enough. Completing palaces in a single day means you get to spend the rest of the time ranking up Confidants and social stats, which are such a nice feeling to have. During my first playthrough, I had no idea about single day infiltrations. I didn't even know they were possible up until Kanashiro's palace. And since then, I made sure to do it every single time. Max out Kawakami's Confidant rank, as it allows you to go outside on days when you enter the metaverse. This seriously gives you so much more free time, and makes her one of the best Confidants in the entire game. Seriously, do not miss out on maxing her out. It needs to be done. And finally, if you're playing the royal version of the game, remember to get Dr. Maruki's Confidant to rank 9 before November 18th, as this is what gives you access to the third semester of the game. I also think you might need to get Kasumi to rank 5, but I'm not too sure. I've done it every single time I've played to be safe, so don't quote me on it, but that's just what I do. Dr. Maruki's Confidant perks are also really good, giving you the chance to remove any status ailment inflicted upon you immediately, and also the chance to restore SP when you are low. You seriously don't want to miss out on the third semester. It's really good, and gives you so much more time to max out Confidants if that's what you need to do. So that's about gonna wrap up this mega video on Persona 5 Royal, and why it is my favorite game of all time. If you managed to make it all the way to the end, I seriously cannot thank you enough. You are the true MVPs, and I appreciate every single one of you. Seriously, just before the video ends, I actually recorded so much gameplay for Persona. I have over 50 gigabytes. 50 gigabytes of gameplay on my PC. So yeah, I kind of needed to make this video so that I can get rid of it at some point. So yeah. In the script here, it says that I was currently near the end of Persona 5 Strikers, but as of me actually going to make this video, I have actually beat Persona 5 Strikers. So if that's something that you want to see me make a video on in the future, be sure to let me know, and who knows, maybe I'll make it. Well, that's all for me today then. Have a good day, evening, or night, wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next one.